Hey guys, it's 7 and today we're going to be looking at SeaWorld Abu Dhabi Review, game-changing $1.2 billion indoor theme park by Coaster Studios. Let's get started.
SeaWorld Abu Dhabi will blow your mind. Opening in 2023, this $1.2 billion indoor theme park features some of the best theming I've ever seen, completely immersing you throughout highly detailed environments, captivating you with jaw-dropping animal exhibits, and well-developed rides. It's a complete reimagining of what a marine park can be. The first SeaWorld park opened back in 1964 in San Diego. They weren't known for rides at all. You were there to see animals. And over the past decade, the three SeaWorld parks in the United States.
I went to one, I think there's one in Florida. There wasn't really much more than just animals there either. It wasn't bad though. The theme, the outdoor theme they had, there's like a bunch of places you had to walk over water, but I didn't really see any fish or anything in the water either. But in general, it wasn't too bad. It's just, there could have been more, honestly. It felt like I was at a zoo, basically. A zoo with a couple of, events, basically.
States have put more of an emphasis on rides. SeaWorld Orlando's tagline is the roller coaster capital of Orlando. It's less about a park that has marine animals and more of a park that is themed around marine animals. And SeaWorld Abu Dhabi is doing the opposite. They are putting an emphasis on the animals. There are only 6 rides in this entire park, and 4 of those are kiddie flat rides. But there is so much to do here that it doesn't even matter. Yes, obviously SeaWorld Abu Dhabi would be better with more attractions, and I'll talk about that later. But in its current form, this is 100% a full-day destination, and depending on how you spend your time, you could even argue that it is a 2-day destination. During my first ever visit to Abu Dhabi, we planned 1 day at SeaWorld. We were there from open until close.
I like the fact that there's a lot of aquariums and just over aquariums, like, just hanging over you, where, like, just it's so high that it basically it covers fully, and you're fully immersed into, like, just the waters, the sea animals all over the place. I'm a big fan of that.
And we did not accomplish everything that we wanted. And we had such a good experience that we canceled our plans to go to Yas Waterworld next door so that we could instead go back to SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. That's how good this park is. So in this review, we're going to dive into the entire experience, discuss what works, even what does not work, and hopefully give some tips in between so you can have the best day ever. Now, first things first, SeaWorld Abu Dhabi is the first marine life park in the region, and it can be found on Yas Island, adjacent to Warner Brothers World, Yas Water World, and Ferrari World. So it's the newest theme park in the region, it's been a long time coming, and it is a real collab between the SeaWorld Entertainment Corporation and the Moral Group. Moral is the operator of the theme parks on Yas Island. So when you purchase a ticket for SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, you have an option to upgrade to a multi-day ticket to include the other parks next door. If you have a season pass to the SeaWorld parks in America, it will not work at SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. They are using the name and the branding, and they absolutely helped in the development process, but Moral is the operator. That makes this easily the most.
I feel like you can really tell the difference between, like, Morale's quality and the, rest of the world, not rest of the world, but let's just go with rest of the world. You can really tell a difference 'cause, Morale's to me just seems like a step up in comparison to a lot of the other things that I've seen over the years.
Different of the SeaWorld parks around the globe. For one, it's the only SeaWorld park to be completely indoors, which is a real necessity in this region just because of how hot it gets. And it's also the most themed park, like not even close. They designed this place with the intention of pulling you into some of the most immersive environments you've ever seen. I spent most of my time walking around this park with my mouth hanging open. Like, how is this real? So let's dive into the specifics, go into the individual sections around how is this.
I like the idea of, eating beside, like, the animals, it's closed off so you don't smell the smell, but I really like the idea of eating beside the animals because you can really just it's a vibe, really. You kinda just can zone out while you're enjoying your meal. I think that's, something that I would really, really enjoy.
Real. So let's dive into the specifics, go into the individual sections around the park and what each of them offer. Starting first with, of course, your arrival experience. Like most of the theme parks in the region, SeaWorld Abu Dhabi offers covered parking. It's completely free, just a short walk up to that initial outdoor plaza with the park logo both in English as well as Arabic. And it's funny, if you look to the back right, you can totally see Formula Rosa over at Ferrari World. That's how close these parks are to each other. And straight to the other side is a much closer roller coaster. That is the turnaround of Manta. This is the only outdoor attraction in the park. It's such a long ride and actually gets fairly high off the ground that there was just no way they could fit this indoors. There's actually a full separate review of Manta already up on our channel. Go give that a watch if you want to hear about that ride specifically. So you'll pass through the sliding doors, you're greeted with a security check, and you'll see
There's some rides I've been on where it just feels like it's taking too long, so I wondered, like, how really long it is in comparison to, like, most roller coasters. I don't think all of them are like that, but, like, there's I feel like I've been on at least one in my life where I'm just like, I would love to get off this for soon. Like, not because my stomach hurts, but I'm just kinda tired of being there.
the escalators, they'll take you up to level 2. That is the main level of SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. As you can see, this building is pretty tall, so in order to make the best use of space, there are multiple levels to this park. And naturally, because of the size of some of these tanks that are holding these marine creatures, it just makes sense that you start on the second level, so then that way, if you want
I love the fact that the escalator goes through a aquarium. I really am a big fan of that. Like, that's really fun to me.
like an underwater viewing later on, you just go down some stairs and boom, there's a completely new perspective. But your first impression of this park is primarily rock work with these waterfalls. It's very pretty, but it gets better. You haven't seen anything yet. Once you're up the escalators, there's this beautiful path that'll lead you to the ticket booths and the turnstiles. This is the start of our first area, which is called Abu Dhabi Ocean. So you haven't even scanned your ticket and you're already completely immersed. To enter SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, if you're purchasing a one-day ticket, it will cost you about $100 US. So it is not cheap, but you do have some options. If you're visiting multiple parks in the area, like I mentioned, you can get a multi-day ticket to include the other Yas Island.
Honestly, if I'm going to, like, you know, if I'm going to Dubai and I'm going to, like, the attractions, like, I'm already thinking about let's go into I'm not gonna just go to one, like, I already know. Ferrari World, probably don't care too much about that, but, like, the rest of them, if I'm going, I'm going to, like, probably just go ahead and go to those other 3, though. There's no way I'm not, because like, I'm going to Dubai. I wanna experience, like, everything.
Parks, which will bring the cost down to each park per day. Another option, if you're planning to visit some places in Dubai, you could also get City Pass, which includes access to many
One thing I've never since I've never been, like, across the ocean or anything, I'm wondering if I could just do something, like, through PayPal where, like, I put some money just down in the PayPal and it just takes care of it that way. I'd rather do that than try to, like, convert my, cash over. I feel like it's probably like that now anyway, just it's easier now these days. I've never done it myself, so I wouldn't know.
attractions throughout the country. Again, bringing that overall price down per day. And personally, I think $45 to $60 is a heck of a lot better than 100. Once you've scanned in, the first thing you're greeted with are a bunch of touch pools. They took a page out of SeaWorld San Diego's book. I love the interaction. This is a perfect first impression for kids. We even saw walk around characters out greeting people. One of those was this really impressive camel puppet. And that actually continued throughout the park with many really creative character opportunities. Costumes unlike anything I've personally seen before. But to the back right here is one of several big theaters in the park. This one specifically houses pearl divers. Be sure to check the show schedule when you visit because there is a lot of live entertainment at SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. To the left, you can see more Middle Eastern inspired buildings. Absolutely stunning. I love the boat out on the water. And directly ahead is a dugong tunnel. And if you've never heard of these, neither had I. They're native to Abu Dhabi and they kind of look like a manatee. Very cute. And once you pass through this, things get wild. Welcome to the One Ocean Central Hub. Here you'll find portals to
I really love, because I've seen another one of these places. I really love the fact that, like, they want you to get immersed, and so, like, they're fully making a world inside of they've done they've done a good job on, and I don't know if it's projector technology, it could be just TV technology as well, but they've done a really good job on keeping the immersion. Like, it looks good from a YouTube, like a video, It looks good from a video perspective. I can't imagine what it's like inside of, actually being there.
All the different lands in the park. This includes micro ocean, endless ocean, tropical ocean, rocky point, and polar ocean. You can't see what's on the other side, so it's a real discovery experience, but they have themed up each of these entry portals to reflect the vibe that you get while in the land. So while the actual names can be a little vague, you can look at the marine-based design of Endless Ocean and remember that that's what is on the other side. And if those portals weren't stunning enough, on top of that, directly above them, circling you 360 degrees, is the world's largest wraparound screen. Insane high-def visuals, constantly changing, just
It is Dubai, so this really doesn't surprise me. I'm thinking maybe IMAX theater type screens, but I've always thought that was a projector they were using. But, either way, it's Dubai. They got a lot of money up there, so it doesn't really surprise me too much.
show you different things such as dolphin swimming, videos about conservation, different locations around the world. It is jaw-dropping. You also have this globe as a centerpiece, reminding you that no matter where you're from, we are all connected by one ocean. One of the other cool things that they do in this central hub is something that, unfortunately, we completely missed. Every once in a while, there's a drone show that takes place. They'll attach these beautiful balloon animals to drones and then fly them across the sky, so it looks like those sea creatures are swimming through the ocean. They have turtles.
I like that. I like that a lot. Certainly if you got kids, like it's one of those moments where it's like you're really there, you're really enjoying it for your kids, just seeing them floating around. And I'm a big fan of that. Of course, it's also cool to see what drones can do these days as well. I'm somewhat wondering. You know what? I've seen a drone show. I was looking at an Andrew Tate video when I saw it. I saw a drone show there. So clearly, drones have gotten way better than what even I really understand or know. But it's still kind of cool.
Dolphins, etc. And there's a custom song that plays during this performance. It's really unfortunate that we missed it, which is crazy because, again, we had 2 days here. I don't know what happened, but we did see a very similar effect done at Chimelong's spaceship, which actually opened shortly after SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, but over in China. Same idea of an indoor marine park, but I think they took a couple of pages out of SeaWorld Abu Dhabi's book because I'm pretty sure this drone effect, SeaWorld did it first. Another important thing that you'll find in the central hub is the meeting area for any upcharge experiences that you choose to do. And SeaWorld offers a lot of them, and they are very cool. This includes a dolphin encounter, scuba diving, kayaking on their lagoon, a penguin encounter, sea otter encounter, sea lion encounter, diving, walrus encounter, or underwater sea venture. We chose to do 2 of them during our visit to the park, and they were very cool, but they are time consuming. That's probably one of the big reasons why we felt we needed 2 days, because each time you do one, you're dedicating like at least 90 minutes to this. And when a park like SeaWorld Abu Dhabi closes early, it probably means you're going to miss out on something else. So you really have to pick and choose your priorities. As for which land I recommend going to first, it's a complete toss-up. If you want to go ride Manta, you're going to want to head to the tropical ocean section, but some of these lands don't even have any rides. Frankly, I recommend just picking one and going for it, see what you can find. Most of the time when I was walking around, I had no idea where I was. It might be a smart park layout with the central.
I mean, certainly I would take a map, but it does certainly look like it's huge. Of course, obviously when you're in there, it's a bit different. But I like what I'm seeing. I like a lot of what I'm seeing. I'm hoping though they have something like a pool. Even though it's probably cool inside the area, just something like a pool, a wave pool, or something to just hang out in and just relax. I think that that's something I'd hope that'd be there.
Hub and spokes design, but it's still probably the most confusing park layout of any property in the country. But for the purpose of this video, we'll go counterclockwise around the park, so we'll turn right from Abu Dhabi Ocean into Micro Ocean. This is easily the most colorful and vibrant section of the whole park. It is very full with stuff to do. This is the kids area, if you will. You won't find any animals in this section because this is where most of those flat rides are. As soon as you have attractions sharing a space with animals, you really have to be conscious of the noise and vibrations they make. This space would not be a good environment for most of the animals. That's why they push them elsewhere in the building. But Micro Ocean is super lively and it has a beautiful color palette. Lots of purples and blues and oranges. Everywhere you look, there's something new to see. And like everything else in SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, the scale is huge. You feel so small being here. And I think that's the idea. I mean, you look up and there are these huge jellyfish above you. So it's like you've been shrunk down to the size of like krill. I love how they themed up the different flat rides. This is where you'll find one of the two roller coasters at SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. This is Eel Race.
I am overall enjoying the theme. I mean, I'm loving I'm loving the colors. I'm loving the colorful blues. I'm loving the theme as well. I mean, they're selling the idea of the ocean pretty well. So I think it's great.
Racer. It's a little Zamperla kids coaster, really cute. I love the ride vehicle, he's adorable. And they did a really nice job with theming. They completely hid the lift hill. Most of it's behind some coral and this play structure, and then it wraps around the land. It's a very smooth ride, great beginner attraction. Unfortunately, I wish there was another stepping stone ride to lead up to Manta, because it is a pretty big jump going from Eel Racer to an intimate multi-launch coaster. So we'll take an exit out of Micro Ocean and enter Endless Ocean. This is designed to look like a research base, and it is very impressive. You'll start by going up a set of escalators, so you're going up to now level 3, and it's so that when you reach this balcony, you are greeted with this enormous portal leading to the world's largest aquarium tank, and it is massive. This single portal stands 4 stories tall.
I think the fact that they made it a research station, really gives you that because when it comes to environments, like you can kind of set the pace, and the idea of it being a research station, no one's going to be constantly moving all the time, and so you can just chill and relax. You can, you can pay attention. You can see the animals being the not animals, but the mammals being themselves. And so this is a good theming. It's a good immersion. Really good immersion, and I love just seeing how big the aquarium is. Imagine, like, just having an underwater house to live in, so you could just see this in, like, real of course, you'd have to have lights on the outside if you wanna actually see the animal I keep wanting to say animals, but the mammals, but, it's still cool.
And the water you're seeing stretches 65 feet from top to bottom. The entire tank, no joke, holds 60,000 living creatures. Unbelievable. This whole Endless Ocean section is essentially just different viewing areas of this one tank. But it feels like different tanks and different exhibits because it's so huge. And they're extremely clever about how they've themed it up. In the back of the tank is a projection of the ocean to give the illusion that the tank just keeps going further back, thus Endless Ocean. Everywhere you stand feels completely different. I love the usage of multiple levels. There's some points where there's a glass floor, plenty of signs around telling you what you're seeing. You have to remind yourself that you're in a theme park because it truly feels like you're in a research facility, like an underwater submarine or something. The immersion is unbelievable. And it's here in this section that we did our absolute favorite activity in the whole park, the underwater sea venture. For about $80 US, you can put on this special helmet from Subsea Systems and walk in the world's largest aquarium tank. It is jaw-droppingly incredible to be in the same space as thousands of fish. Huge.
I don't know if I do that, not because of fear or anything, I just, I think I'm just there to really see what's going on. It looks like it'd be kinda cool though, but, um, I don't know. It's not on my priority list.
Manta rays and literal sharks was just something that I will never forget. And the best part is anyone can do this. You don't even have to know how to swim. You just walk. As I mentioned earlier, you go to the Explorer headquarters to check in. They'll bring you over to the Endless Ocean section to a special area where they'll put you in a wetsuit, give you a brief on how it will work. The entire experience from start to finish lasts 90 minutes, but you're only underwater for about 15 minutes. I certainly wish it was longer, but I was also very satisfied with our time that we spent here. We had a great guide, tons of fun, so much to see. It was sensory overload. If you're coming to this park,
Still, I don't wanna stop on her face, but it does look beautiful. No matter how you stretch it, no matter you think about it, it still looks very, very beautiful all over.
to see, it was sensory overload. If you're coming to this park, this is the number one thing that I would recommend. It was absolutely worth the
I'm
80.
kinda thinking about this camera they got going on here. Like, is it just a phone inside of a bag? Like, what kind of camera are they rocking for it to be underwater like that?
Dollars. I would do it again in a heartbeat. There's very few places around the world that you can do something like this. Like I know Atlantis in Dubai offers something similar, or even if you've been to Discovery Cove in Orlando, they offer something like this as well. But this is different. This is the world's largest aquarium tank. Like you feel so small being in there. If you're ever going to give it a try, this is an excellent location to do it. So we'll move on from endless ocean into tropical ocean. And land-wise, this is easily the largest section. It's also the only part of the park that features natural lighting. There's a huge glass window on one side so you can have the daylight flow in, and it is so nice. You know, one of the big complaints when you're spending all day in an indoor theme park is that you miss seeing the daylight. Artificial lighting gets stale after a while. It's really healthy to be able to look outside. SeaWorld Abu Dhabi's inclusion of this was very smart and much appreciated. Only downside, be aware it does mean that this section of the park is warmer than the rest. But that's to be expected, and I'm sure some of the animals here appreciate it. This section is essentially one big rainforest. Some of the first animals you see, flamingos. You go a bit further down, you can enter a space where there's tons of exotic birds just walking around you. Some bird types that I didn't even know existed. And they're so used to people that some of the birds will let you pet them. Like they were very social, had no problem being close to humans, just be gentle and they don't give a crap. They had a huge space to roam around, clearly they were being well taken care of. Don't miss this. It's also in tropical ocean that you'll find the Dolphin Stadium. This is the big signature show of SeaWorld Abu Dhabi because, if you haven't noticed, there are no orcas here.
I'm kind of liking the colors they've been showing off though.
This is the first SeaWorld park without killer whales. And I think it's awesome. It shows that they don't need them. I didn't feel like anything was missing by having a lack of orcas. And this dolphin
I'm liking the sandy vibe they're going for. Hold
don't
on.
need them. I didn't feel
Yeah, I'm liking the sandy beach vibe they're going here. I think they're selling that pretty well. And if this is we're still in the area where it's like natural sunlight. Yeah, I'm really liking the vibe. I'm liking the vibe, the overall look, and I think natural lighting is probably the only way you could really sell. Like you could have like some kind of orange lighting, but it would look fake. Like this looks natural, and I think that's cool.
like anything was missing by having a lack of orcas. And this dolphin show is plenty fun. It's very similar to the ones you might find at the other SeaWorld parks. It's very obvious that they took a page out of those books, and it's probably because some of the dolphin trainers literally came from the other SeaWorld parks. When they were creating SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, they obviously had to get the animals from somewhere, right? You can't just buy or sell a dolphin. That's not how it works. Animal centers will trade them, and because this park is affiliated with SeaWorld Orlando, San Antonio, and San Diego, they sent some of the animals from those parks to Abu Dhabi. And to help some of those animals adjust to the change, many animal trainers went with them to Abu Dhabi, and it was an odd moment of realization knowing that I've probably seen some of these exact same dolphins before in an identical show on the other side of the world. But you know what? I would argue this one was even better. They had live drummers as the warm-up entertainment. The stadium isn't a set of cheap bleachers. Instead, it's all themed. You're literally sitting on like fake rocks or grass. And it's just very creative. So much thought was put into this place. Things that are grass.
I'm wondering about like
It's just very
because like rock gets old after a while, but like I'm wondering like what is the padding made out of for something like that? Obviously, it's like well you're thinking about that, but it's something to think about. Like if you build something like this, like what is the padding that they're using to make this unique seating arrangement?
creative. So much thought was put into this place, things that never bothered me with the other SeaWorld parks, but now seeing how much better it's done here made me mildly annoyed that it's not the same with the ones in the US. But I know it's also different, right? SeaWorld Abu Dhabi was a very expensive project. They're spending money that they don't have here at the SeaWorld entertainment chain. But anyways, moving on from the dolphin show, we elected to eat our lunch both days in the tropical ocean section. We first picked this cafeteria style restaurant on the right hand side when you enter, and it was so
It looks like Chinese, and I love Chinese food. Oh my gosh, I love Chinese food. It's so good.
good. I got some chicken wings with fried rice, and it was fantastic. When we came back, I checked out a different place just down the pathway. I got a wrap. Really good, but if I had to choose where to eat again, I'd probably go back for the wings. The only food I would not recommend trying at SeaWorld Abu Dhabi is these cookies that you can get in One Ocean. They look really good, but trust me, they are not good. Dry and tasteless. I took 2 bites and threw it out. Don't be deceived. Save your money. And lastly, to conclude this section, I mentioned that this is where you would enter to ride Manta. You really got to pay attention here because it's easy to miss the signs. You actually have to go downstairs to level 1 for the entrance. You'll see these banners up that say Manta this way, so follow those signs. There's a huge tank full of rays on the right-hand side before you enter the queue. The queue and station is completely indoors. It's just the roller coaster that's outside. Really strong experience. One of my favorite roller coasters in the Emirates. Biggest downside is just the slow operations. They have some really annoying procedures when dispatching this coaster. It's probably the worst operations in the entire country. Frankly, the
Girl was out here praying, boy, like, it must have been she must have been scared. You seen that?
only real downside that I have about SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. And if you want to hear about that in detail, I talk about it in that Manta review video I mentioned. But anyways, as you're exiting Manta, something you'll notice while you're here on the lower level, below Tropical Ocean is a section of the park that feels completely different from the rest. They've designed it to feel like a shipwreck. It mimics the deep, dark depths of the ocean, so it has very strong mood lighting. No rides or anything down here, but there are some midway games, a beautiful underwater restaurant that actually overlooks the dolphin area, one of
Another area to just chill out and
the
enjoy.
games, a beautiful
Oh, and also, I am, enjoying the, colors here.
designed to feel like a shipwreck.
I am enjoying the colors here.
It mimics the deep, dark
Retail.
depths of the ocean, so it has very strong mood lighting. No rides or anything down here, but there are some midway games, a beautiful underwater restaurant that actually overlooks
Love me an
the
area
dolphin
like this. Love me an area like this. Just enjoying my meal. Maybe I got a girl or something, and I'm just vibing with her. 100%, really good.
area. One of the more tucked away dining experiences in the park, but such an incredible setting. Next time, this is definitely a place I would consider eating at. And there are even more dolphin viewing areas, including an underwater tunnel, which is really cool. But anyways, we'll move
Just really enjoying areas like this. I really want to experience this for myself. Like this, even if I had to go by myself, I really want to experience something like that. That is, I'm loving just these areas where I could just chill out, zone out, and just enjoy the marine life.
even more dolphin viewing areas, including an underwater tunnel, which is really cool. But anyways, we'll move on from Tropical Ocean straight into Rocky Point. And this is essentially one room, so one of the smallest areas in the entire park. It mimics California, right? Naturally, this is where you have the sea lions and seals. Be sure to buy some fish so you can go feed them. It is absolutely adorable. There's also underwater viewing down below. Go check that out. And on the other side is the Sea Lions Stadium. So they have a sea lion specific show like the other SeaWorld parks. This was something that we unfortunately missed, but I've heard that it's kind of cheesy and tacky like the others. So I personally didn't really feel like I was missing out. But yeah, that's about it here. Not a whole lot to it. Great atmosphere though. Let's now step foot into Polar Ocean. And this is really just the gateway to 2 other smaller realms, Antarctica and the Arctic. But they do so in the most beautiful way. You are in this dome looking straight up at the northern lights. It's another insanely high definition screen that makes you feel like you're actually there. It is
And I really just want to know, like, number one, how much did that cost? But number two, what the heck is that? Like, what are you like? Imagine watching a movie, like especially like they'd have to make certain movies for something like that. But imagine watching a movie on something like that. Like, holy crap! Or just like another zen, like you. That's another place to just zone in out, zone out, have a zen moment at. I feel like those would be something I'd do there.
jaw-droppingly beautiful, and I love the golden portals that you have that lead to each section. Starting first with the Arctic, this is meant to mimic the frozen tundra of up north. The walrus exhibit was actually under renovation for us, so we didn't actually get to see any, but we did get to check out some adorable foxes and ride the other big signature attraction of SeaWorld Abu Dhabi.
I'm not sure where I saw one. Not where I know where I saw one. Um, but I'm not sure entirely why I saw it. I remember seeing I'm not gonna dox myself, but I remember I live in like a wooded area, and so it's like I remember seeing a white fox. It might have been a wolf, but I remember seeing a white fox in like a wooded area like I live in. Like when you think of the woods, the forest, something like that, um, where it's kind of like 72. I remember seeing one. It might have just been a white dog or a white wolf. It just looked similar to it, but it was like every time I think back, I'm like, I remember seeing a white fox. um, when I was younger. Just chilling in the middle of the woods when I was walking. It was kinda one of the strangest things I've ever seen.
Some adorable foxes, and ride the other big signature attraction of SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, Hypersphere. This is the first and only operating intimate dome theater in the entire world, and it is unbelievably cool. For starters, it is massive, seats 80 people at a time, so long loading procedures, but high capacity. You'll enter a dome, pull down your over-the-shoulder restraint, the center will drop, and you now realize that you've been staring up the upper half of the dome. There's a whole lower half right under you, and then you start to rotate. The dome comes alive with some of the most unbelievable visuals you've ever seen. Crystal clear HD. The ride uses over 7,000 LED panels with a total of 75 million pixels. It's a concept that took almost 10 years of development, with construction alone taking over a year just due to how complicated it was. The ride experience as a whole lasts about 6 minutes, with the first half sending you traveling on this peaceful trip through the ocean, and then the second half covering something that goes wrong and now it's a rescue mission. I only got one ride on Hypersphere 360 and I appreciated its length, but I wish the core of the experience was more like the first half. That peaceful trip. I didn't think it needed to take a crazy turn. Like, one of the things that makes Soarin' work so well is that you're just taking a scenic flight. It doesn't have this captivating story because it doesn't need it. The visuals are amazing. And I felt like that's what they should have done here. The first half, in my opinion, was a lot stronger than the second half when things
Man, the visuals look good to me on the video. I can only imagine just being there, dude. Holy crap, that looks cool.
went wrong. But ride system wise, the potential is just through the roof. I really hope that we see more of these in the future. There are so many pros to it, like it's extremely compact, it's an excellent alternative to a flying theater, and most people have never experienced anything like it before. Thematically, the potential is through the roof. The only downside I can see is that it's likely very expensive, but to help with that, Intamin recently debuted the Dome 40. It has half the capacity of Hypersphere 360 and an even smaller footprint. But same idea of being able to rotate you in any direction, tilt you up and down, create all these unique sensations while showing you incredible visuals. I'd love to see one of these at the other SeaWorld parks or some of the elaborately themed parks in Europe. I feel like there's a lot they could do with this. So that about does it for the Arctic. Finally, we have Antarctica. This land exists pretty much solely for the penguins, and it's awesome. I'd stick around and watch them forever, except the problem is that it's like freezing in there. But luckily, I'd stick around and
The heck's on that penguin's back? Like, what is that?
watch them forever, except the problem is that it's like freezing in there. But luckily, SeaWorld Abu Dhabi thought of that too, and they offer a restaurant up against the penguin exhibit so you can eat your food and then watch the penguins play. And that is awesome. And this is where we elected to do our other big animal encounter while at SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. We went in the penguin exhibit. We got to pet a penguin, and it was really cool. Only downside, it was very short and very rushed. You absolutely spend more time getting ready, and then once you're finally in, you have like 5 minutes in the exhibit. Don't get me wrong, it was awesome to pet a penguin, but I probably would not do this one again. I think I'd be much more inclined to try out one of their other meet and greets, like maybe with the sea lions or the otters. But if you're a big penguin lover, definitely consider this. It's about $53 US, so not awful. I just wish we had more time in there. That's how I would improve this experience. But there you go. That covers the layout of SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. I had so much fun exploring this massive park and was really sad when the end of the day came. But on our way out, one cool thing I noticed, the lights throughout the entire building dim at the same rate as the sunset. When it's dark outside, it's dark in the building. So for all those
That's cool. I'm glad they do that because it helps you understand the time. Of course, I'd be watching my watch anyway, but still, I think that's great.
animals that don't have access to natural lighting, they still get a true daytime and nighttime. So really, that's why the park closes early. When it gets dark outside, it also gets dark inside, and they don't want guests around for that. That's when all the animals are going to sleep. So in conclusion, SeaWorld Abu Dhabi to me was a reminder of why I love theme parks so much. It's rare I step foot into a park and am just completely floored of theme
Hold
parks
on.
so much. It's rare.
It's just now that I've caught wind of this guy's haircut, and I'm trying to figure what the heck's going on here. Why would you do that to yourself? What? Did someone do that on a dare? Like, what happened here? Why would you do that to yourself?
Rare I step foot into a park and am just completely floored, but this was 100% one of those instances. There's not even very many rides here, and I still had a blast. And I would rate this as one of my favorite parks I've ever been to. This park is so much more than those two coasters. I would even say it's extremely repeatable. It's the same reason why you'd want to visit an aquarium more than once. As of now, the park is less than 2 years old. I'm curious if they'll expand it at all, which is
They
inherently
probably
tough when you have an indoor theme park. You'd probably have to do a building extension and have to be careful not to disturb the animals. But the amount of creativity that went into this place makes me confident that they would be able to figure something out. Hopefully, it comes in the form of like an in between coaster, something to work your way up from Eel Racer to Manta. I really like the idea of a water coaster because the fact that there's no water rides at a marine park just feels wrong. So, give me one of those as well as a
what exactly what I was talking about. I'm like, where's the water park? Where's the water park about this? Where's the pool? Where's the just place to chill out in the water or have some kind of water slides or something? Like, where's that at, man? Seems so odd.
true dark ride. The UAE parks have a tendency of building trackless dark rides, and I think a ride like that with practical sets themed to being underwater would be super cool. Imagine that with the final scene being a reveal of a real aquarium. We did something similar at Chimelong Ocean Kingdom, and it was so cool. I think that'd be a perfect fit here. But in all honesty, even if they didn't build another attraction ever again, I would still be super excited to come back. It's by far one of the stronger parks in the UAE, and you can make an argument for being the best theme park on Yas Island. It's tough to say. Each one of these complement each other so well. I honestly don't know which one is my favorite. So if you find yourself on Yas Island, you should 100% pay a visit to SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. Spend the day, ride the rides, see the animals, check out some shows, really explore. Go find those smaller hidden pathways. You'll be surprised how much is packed into this one park. It is the gold standard of what a marine life park should be. So let me know down in the comments below if you've experienced SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, if you agree with the points that I brought up. If you're new to the channel, please go check out the Park Reviews playlist. We've reviewed properties from all across the globe, including many others in the UAE. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, so that's it for the SeaWorld Abu Dhabi review. Game-changing $1.2 billion indoor theme park. I really enjoyed what I saw there. It's something I really want to go see myself. I loved the colors. I'm loving just. I love in general like the theming of each location and just how well they keep you immersed in each location. Every location feels like it's supposed to be that way. And yeah, of course, I'm saying that just to say that I guess to some degree, but like it does feel like each location has a purpose and isn't just a rehash of what was already there before. Every time we saw anything with the screens and stuff like that, I'm really intrigued as to what those things cost like and what does it take to build something like that. Like it looks really really cool, and I'm loving um I'm loving just the technology that they're using there. It's Dubai, so obviously they got a lot of money, but it's really, really cool, and I would love to go some to a place like that. Hey, maybe you guys will help me fund that. Regardless, hit the follow button, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube, follow on Rumble, and hit the subscribe button if you're on Rumble, and consider becoming a subscriber. Becoming a subscriber on coffee.com. It's in the description. The link for the video will be in the top. I always put origin and then like the link for the video, so you can watch it without my commentary. But in general, consider joining the coffee. Consider donating or subscribing. That way, you guys can help me continue doing this for longer and full time. Regardless, I hope that you guys enjoy just seeing. I know a lot of people do reaction to like controversy and stuff like that. I want to do reactions and stuff that'll inspire you to maybe grow your wealth, improve your lifestyle. Sometimes it takes seeing something you've never seen before that makes you realize that there's more in the world than out there. And so I'm hoping that my channel, to some degree, can be that. We are still a gaming channel, so I will be doing gaming as well. Just at the moment, I can't do live streams for whatever reason. I haven't figured out why. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.